This week we take you all around our yard. We're basically doing a huge yard tour and we want to show you everything from our pool and tennis court to our future garden to all of our planters. We show you everything.
That's gonna come in.
Sorry.
Go!
I need to go back to my car real fast. Should I go the other way?
No, let's go.
I just screwed up your...
It's fine, just go.
Go!
Take 2.
Take 400.
Go! Go! Okay.
Welcome back to Beauty in the Yard. This week we're going to take you on a tour of our yard. I was thinking as we do projects and as we work in different areas, it might be really useful to have kind of the lay of the land. So we're going to take you through all of our properties, show you kind of the areas of them, kind of what we're doing, kind of what we call them. It will also be a great jumping off point too to be able to show progress later on.
We'll explain some of the projects we've already done and what stage they're at. Some are complete, some are not always complete. We have ongoing projects, it seems like forever in some cases. Yeah, we're excited to show you what we have planned for the future.
Here we go.
This place I have found in the shade on the ground, far from all worries and troubling sound. When I go there to be by myself, only me. No one can guess what I came there to see.
So this is our front gate area and you
Car.
approach bigger. We want to be able to have more of an area pulling off so that when people, because the road coming here is kind of tight, so we want to redo the gate and probably like fix the trees around it and do more lighting and planting out. In the front area, we have a ton of bamboo, which has been pretty cool. So I think if we were able to extend it on the other side as well, that would give more unity to the front. And we want to get our gate working. Right now it's not working, so it's just always open.
As we come into our property, we have a flower bed here to my left with a couple of Japanese maples that we love. We want to salvage those. On the right-hand side is the extension of the creek that goes under the driveway. We're going to also do a similar flower bed here to match the sides so they both look the same. As you drive in, we'll extend this gate area back probably 30 feet. So there's plenty of room for a car to come in and get off the road. We want both sides to be manicured and look really good. So we have quite a bit of work here to widen the area and to bring in flower beds. Another interesting thing I think we're going to do is we're going to put in a larger pipe here to connect this pipe that goes under our driveway. That way we can cover it with dirt and have this entire area for landscape without disturbing the integrity of the drainage pipe.
Hi, so this is my favorite part of the yard because there's a lot of grass that we're able to play like mini golf in, and it's just really good for starting to ride mowers and learning how to do a lot of stuff because it's open a bunch, and it's just my favorite part of the yard because I just love it.
Here we have a sycamore, about 10 years old, but as you can tell, it hasn't grown one bit. It grew like 5 feet.
That's because the deer keep attacking this poor tree. Look at how many times they've broken it. So this is the top part of our property. So you have like the gate over there, you come in on this grass area, and then we're pretty close to the edge of the property up here, and we recently put in this new kind of fencing to make it more secure and help keep stuff from coming through and eating everything. And then we just completed this project. The oleanders are at the top of our property up here, and they're gonna just take off and just really mute this whole area and just give more protection to the property. And there they are down there. Basically, our driveway goes through the center of the property. You come in, you have grass on both sides, and then we were up on that hill where the oleander was all just planted. We have this kind of center front flower bed, and I don't know, we kind of struggle with it. I don't know if it's because it constantly gets eaten by deer or that it just has a really hard soil where it is. I mean, finally it's doing a little bit better. It's taken forever to get these plants to grow here. Then on this other side, we have the creek that starts in on the yard. It runs parallel with our driveway.
One of our projects we're going to do early next year is on this side of the yard. We're actually going to take down 6 or 7 trees. And I know people don't take down trees. Well, it's a master plan to help the overall growth of the yard. So we have some clusters of oak trees that grew, and it's causing in a cluster of 3 or 4, 1 or 2 of them to die or not look good. You can see this one tree looks dead, it's cracked. Our goal is to take out some of this extra trees and maybe the dead wood that we find, and we're going to restructure this area. We want to bring in a lot more trees. We've probably cut down 15 trees throughout the yard here, but we planted in excess of 80 trees in the last 10 years. So our goal is always to make more growth. We want it to be very lush, and we need to rework this whole irrigation system. As you can see, looking down, we have problems with our irrigation. The soil is really hard, very clayey, and frankly, just haven't spent time in this area like we need to. So next year, we'll make this a big focus. It'll be clearing the trees, redoing the irrigation, making this area beautiful. It'll be a fun project.
I can't wait to do that. Maybe we can get more bulbs over here. Coming over to the edge of where the creek picks up. It's the end of summer. Actually, it's now fall. So it's at a really low point. I mean, it'll get a little bit lower than this maybe before the rain comes, if we get rain this year. Hopefully we do. And then you can see that the driveway is just running through the center, and then we have this other grass area next to the creek. And we used to have a swing here, but that went away somehow.
Hi, this is our middle island right here, and I really like it because me and my brothers can do a lot of things, and it's my favorite spot to mow the yard.
Why do you like mowing that the best?
Because I love all the hills.
Why is it called the Middle Island?
Because it's in the middle of the yard.
It's a roundabout.
Yeah, so our driveway splits here, and you can either go all the way around, creating our middle island.
My brothers broke this over time. It's their fault. So next year we're hoping we're gonna redo it all, make it nicer.
Why did this happen? Does anybody know?
They smashed it.
Cars drove over.
Well, we've done so many projects here. We've had a lot of big trucks come through that weigh a lot, and we've had concrete trucks back here,
Yeah.
and we've had big trucks pulling tractors. And so I think in the heat of the summer and the weight kind of it softens this asphalt and causes these indentions. So we can patch it. We've done a lot of patching over the years. It's time to rip it out and redo it.
Yeah, it's in pretty
my
rough
way,
shape.
Not Kim's way, because Kim,
What's my way?
Kim will cobblestone the whole
Oh,
thing.
I know that. I want to
It'll
do
be beautiful
pavers. I want
pavers.
pavers.
That's right. She'll paver the whole thing, and that would be beautiful.
I would love
That would
that.
be beautiful. Or gold-plated driveway.
Stop it.
But I
Stop
think we'll
it.
asphalt for now. But maybe we'll
Right.
do like the entrance section in pavers or
Yeah.
something. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, at the new gate, like just do pavers up in the
We should
front.
teach the boys how to do pavers and just have them do this all
No,
summer.
you guys should just be doing
That would be
pavers.
amazing.
Paver this whole driveway. So the creek just continues along down the front of the driveway, basically. It's really beautiful, especially when there's a lot more water running. Sometimes during huge storms, it'll crest up onto this
Yeah,
driveway.
actually, right
Where does it
right
happen?
here.
Right there,
This is
yeah.
actually the low spot. And
Yeah.
one time it rained so hard. I mean, it literally has to raise about 4 feet. And it's
Yeah.
a wide area. So when we get this much rain, it actually caused a tremendous amount of flooding in some of our local towns. But it did crest over the driveway.
And that
there.
probably does soften the asphalt because it like undermines it, right?
I think it all is part of it.
Yeah. So this is the low side of the yard.
That's my best.
And then there's the front of the house. Just a quick thing on our house. We'll probably do more videos eventually in there. This first section of the house was 1974 ranch. And then in 1990, they added on that second part of it. So it's kind of like a combo house, which is great space for our family, and we've made it work. But there's some style things that I hope to be able to tackle one day.
Come about.
Oh, is there a face?
There is. The
A
windows
face.
are eyes, and then the doors are mouth.
Oh,
Look.
it's a face.
Yeah, you never realized. Haley's the mustache.
Oh.
In this area, we were thinking of building a duck pond. We're gonna have to dig down a lot to get to the level of the creek. I think the creek's like 3 feet down from this level. But I mean, we could put like a nice wall and stuff, and you put like a little sand, make a beach.
Yeah, the ducks would love it, huh?
Yeah.
But we don't really have that many ducks left anymore.
Well, not one.
We're going to have to figure that out first. But yes, this was kind of like the future plan for like a duck paradise down here until we realized the predator situation going on. So this is at the lower end from the house. And then up there is where the ducks are right now. So we'll jump up there and show you what that looks like.
You waited outside for the worst to pass. I was going
So this is kind of a place where we had done a kind of perennial garden, like spices and some fruit trees and like grapes and strawberries. And then we got ducks and we put them in here, and then we had to fence them apart because they were destroying the fruits. And now there's been this predator in here that's eaten all of our ducks essentially. Now we're gonna have to redo this whole setup and concept.
So initially we built this entire area for a little garden area for Kim, so that we could have some flowers and herbs and plants. But I think we're going to move that to another area of the yard, and we're going to turn this to a kind of a temporary but more elaborate duck sanctuary. So we're going to dig out a pond area right in this area here, and probably a free form. We'll get Kim and some spray paint. She can paint out the design.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, we'll dig it down with an excavator, and we'll buy a liner to help keep the water in. And I think we can bring in some rocks and things around the perimeter to help it look more natural. We're also going to take out all these wood chips and bring grass in. I think the ducks will have more enjoyable time with some grass.
And wildflowers.
Some flowers, and we need to really research more about some of the little habitation type things that ducks like to be in. So I think we can quickly plant a bunch of items here and make it a little sanctuary for them. It'll be fun for us to have it close to the house. It is a little bit temporary because we're going to build a much more elaborate one later, but that one's going to take time, and we don't want to wait. We want a little better area for our ducks.
And we've also got to figure out some way of keeping them alive.
Got to figure out how to keep the predators out. We're working on that tonight.
Okay, cool. So yes, we are now down to one. Did you guys name our last one? Okay. Oh, Snowball.
Oh, we got to name him. Got to name him Survivor.
Survivor, yeah. I think he's Survivor. That's a good idea. Hey, Tanky. Yeah, so I had this idea initially that Tank and the ducks would just frolic together and be best friends. That didn't really happen. So Tank got knocked out of the play yard because
He was too aggressive.
he was trying to bite their necks.
He almost killed one of them, except
Maybe he's the predator.
I don't think
He
so.
likes biting necks.
The strawberries have gone to weed.
The strawberry neck.
But look at my another artichoke is coming up. It's amazing. I love artichoke plants. My blueberry did not do well at all. And for those of you who are Natural Chaos fans, that is the window in my filming studio. So on the other side now, just giving perspective. And we got Tank kind of kept back behind the house.
Just where we go.
Don't let them get you like they got me. When it's time to waste time, when it's time for you.
This is like the back wall of the property in here, and this sycamore has gone fast. We just planted it last year. Look at how huge it is already. But we put in a ton of trees back here and put this wall in to help keep the hillside back. The hillside used to come all the way down to that tree's grade, and we excavated it all the way back and then kind of did this. The idea is to extend the house eventually out this way so that it'll be in line with the pool. So like if you had like a family room kitchen here, and then you would have a direct line out to the pool. Till then, this is kind of the back end of the kitchen and Jason's whole smoking setup.
We're doing ribs today.
It's so exciting. Hot Tank, it's so exciting. Yes, it is. And so that's also kind of where I filmed the wood chips, where the palms, like that's where one of the palms is that I filmed in that wood chip video. It's just going strong. Little gift from wood chips.
Fall is definitely coming. Our leaves are starting to turn
That's right.
on
Oh my
our
gosh.
liquid ambers.
Those are looking beautiful. Jason, what's going on with your robot lawnmowers?
That's for another video.
Such a good idea, but so we have the fence extended here to keep Tank back here because he just is so, he's destructive. He destroys everything.
He's a menace.
He's a menace.
He's a menace.
Okay, so we just trimmed up the boxwoods. So this is the second time you've trimmed them, Jason? Since planting?
Second or third, yeah.
Second or third. Okay, so those are coming along. And then this is where our pool is. We put this in last year. So we're 1 year into being pool owners. I mean, we love it. It's just the most amazing thing ever. We just feel so fortunate to have it. And the boys do a good job of helping us take care of the whole area around it. We have these white roses in these pots here. We do have irrigation to them, which is awesome because otherwise they would die. And roses do work in my yard, just as long as the deer can't get to them.
We need to trim out some of the dead roses, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I think they'll just fall naturally.
They'll fall in like a week.
Yeah.
A week from now, these will be fully bloomed again. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is crazy. So our pool stuff's up. We did this rock face on it. That is great. We put the diving board in line with the deck, and then we have a really great Cavo shelf so that we can have a lot of those pool chairs in it. And then up here we have a very large tiled spa, and this is just such luxury. You can have like, I don't know, 15 to 20 people in here, and it's super smooth because it's all tiled. I love it. Best decision ever. Huh?
Yes.
What? Film this. Film it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it turns out we're not olive growers, but we're gonna try again. So we bought a lot of olives. They were small 1 gallon ones and planted this hillside out. First I was giving them too much water. Then it wasn't enough water. And then it was too much water. I can't seem to get it right. And so I think most of them are dormant. They may be dead. I don't know.
Some look like they're coming back.
Well, we've been working hard to try to get them to come back. We've got to trim
Just
them again.
no water.
Well, so next year we'll have it dialed in just right. I'm gonna bring someone in who knows what they're doing with olives. So we have some olives that are looking better. The 2 olive trees on either side of the pool look really great.
I prune those.
Hey,
Oh man. Oh.
is that cold?
The roses look great. The idea was to have this big olive orchard above it, and then beyond that we want to do a vineyard. So that's kind of the plan. I like olives. I also like grapes, so I think it'll work really well. And then we think we want to put in a fire pit right here. Right, Jason?
So we want to put a fire pit in so we can have some place that at night when it's kind of colder, that we can come out as a family. It gets dark, you know, around 5 in the wintertime, and it's just a bummer not to be out by our pool. So I think we're going to put a fire pit in this area here, and then we got to figure out some kind of bench seating, maybe that's more permanent. But I think it will look good with this and then the grass around it. The grass doesn't look very good here right now.
Yeah.
We struggled this year with it, but we'll have that dialed in better next year.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think a fire pit would be something we want to do this winter.
So down below the pool is the tennis court. We don't actually play tennis, but it is a goal of mine to learn. And I'm going to get a ball machine so that I can just start working out with it. But the great thing about it too is it's lighted. And so we got so much use out of this whole last year, because when it gets dark at 5 o'clock, the boys can still be outside playing way into the night. It's awesome. It's been great for parties. It's just like a really great space. And I wasn't even thinking it was going to be that useful. And I'm really blown away by how great it was this past year.
Boys, how do we get to the tennis court?
We use this conveniently paced.
Ooh, this was a good idea.
It was my idea.
It was your idea to put a path in?
I think so. We got this beautiful walk. We can look down and see the well house, Japanese maple, propane tank, woods, everything.
Yeah, look at our growth.
I love it. It's amazing.
It's getting wild here.
Like things actually grow.
It's because who's the master gardener here at our house, Kim?
You.
That's right, baby. That's what we do. We also do things like this sometimes. So
That's no water.
it's not perfect, but we're getting better.
It's no water.
This will be a great hedge here next year. This is only 1 year of growth for everything. Anyway, this is the tennis court area. We use it for everything else in the world besides tennis. We have parties out here. We throw football. We play soccer. Eventually, maybe we'll play a tennis game. What do you think?
Maybe.
And oh yeah, the biggest thing is it's a track for scooters. The boys will do rounds here.
Rollerblading.
Rollerblading, well,
We've had the hardest
that's
wipeouts
what they
on
say.
scooters.
But scooters, that's what they do. Just round and round on the track here. And then my favorite thing of all is basketball.
Oh, Jason, look at, there's a honeybee. I think that is a sign. That is a sign that we are definitely doing bees. You believe that? Don't you think it's a sign? How did I just stumble across a dead bee?
Is it dead?
I think
Why don't
so.
you pick it up?
It must be dead.
You're the beekeeper.
Is it a honeybee? Kind of looks like one, right?
Okay, so we're back to our driveway because that's the tennis court path, and then there's the house, and then we're coming back down the driveway. You can see that that's how the roundabout goes around the middle island. And then as I walk down, here is the well house where the branch fell on it the other night. And then there's our propane tank. So they sit both here together. And then this is kind of where the driveway ends. And then we have this whole other lawn section here.
So this brings us to another project we're going to do. I keep saying early next year.
And there's a
It's
lot of
ambitious.
things
It's
happening
ambitious.
early next year.
This area has struggled a lot, and it's just really poor soil conditions, and it was never really truly graded properly. And we had a lot of old dead trees in this area that the roots had finally rotted away, and it caused some concaving. We're either going to bring in a lot of sand and soil to do leveling, which will be fun, or we're going to rip all of this out, re-level it with good soil, and then either plant grass seed or do sod. I'm not sure yet, but this will be a fun project. I think it'll be a lot of fun to get some tractors out here, tear this area up, redo the irrigation, make this much more sustainable and easier to grow.
Mm-hmm. And you're going to relocate our well and
so we are going to tear down this well, because right now inside this well house, we have our well, which is only a small protrusion out of the ground. Really, the well is 150 feet deep. We also have a bladder storage tank in there that when the water comes out of the well, it goes into there. We also have a sub panel for electrical, and that electrical manages the pump, also manages all of our pool equipment. Our plan is we're going to remove this well house and relocate our electrical up behind the basketball goal. We have a pad up there we can show. We're going to move our propane tank up there. We're going to move our water storage up there and also our electrical sub panel. And we stubbed for all this when we did this project with the tennis courts. So right now we have water lines and electrical already running up there. It's just a matter now of moving the equipment.
And at some point we want to try to do some like stairs or some kind of transition from up at that grade to down to this level too, because we only have that one walking path. When we have people over, they constantly climb up this hill, which we don't want them doing. So we need to figure out a path. And then we just put down all that wood chip everywhere still as kind of like our ground cover.
Prior video.
Wood chips, free wood chips.
Free, quick way to clean things up.
That's right. And then, so this is the pad Jason was talking about behind the tennis court where we have some razors.
Well, because Kim made me tear down our barn / workshop / man area, we don't have a place to store this stuff.
Because the barn used to be right here.
Yeah, temporarily. Yeah, actually, in this video, you should show the barn tear down real quick.
I'll do that right now.
Temporarily, we're storing stuff up here. We'll move this, and this will be a great spot. We also want to buy a generator, a Generac, and we stubbed for it as well. We just need to buy it now and have it hooked up. But we're going to move all utilities here. It'll be more hidden, but a better location to access and not be in the way, kind of like they are right now.
Yeah, it's like it looks like a little dollhouse with a gas tank. Yeah. It makes no sense. It's weird, very weird.
The other thing we find all the time, are these. It doesn't matter where I go or how much I yell at the boys, we find basketballs, tennis balls, baseballs, footballs, tennis rackets, everywhere. And I'll give them a job, one job in life, pick up all the tennis balls, and I will come out and find 5 more immediately.
It's my office. That's all I have to say.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that before. We have a lot of plans for this area here. Where the wood chip piles are, that's where our new workshop is going to go / storage.
Filming studio.
No, this will be a workshop. This will be a place where the boys and I can do woodworking. We can work on the motorcycles, razors, and have a place to store all of our tools. And, it's a good, clean place to keep everything well organized. We have a temporary storage container here housing some of our equipment. So right where this pad is, we dug this out. It was all rock. that's part of our plan. Also, we started a tree house. I get flack for this every day. So this is as far as we got. And this was over a year ago, and I know. But we started this project, and 3 weeks later, we decided we would move forward with our pool and tennis court project. So that really took all of our time, resources, energy. And I think that we benefited from that project, right? Yeah. I still don't get a reprieve. And so this winter, our hope is to revisit this treehouse. It's going to be fantastic, actually. It's 16 feet by 28 feet will be the pad. And then we'll put on top of that an actual tree house, and there'll be some deck area. I think it'll be a pretty cool area once we're complete.
Some hanging plants.
No, this is for the boys and I. Kim can't put plants and lights up here. We're going to put a little fire pit. We also have a trampoline. We want to recess this trampoline into the ground. So we're going to dig a big hole as part of this project and make this trampoline ground flush with the ground. We can take the netting off that way, the safety netting, and not have that. And what's great is we can put a drain pipe under it, and the creek is just right here, so we can quickly drain any excess water down to the creek. So this will be a great little area for the boys. And truly, the motivation was the house is way over there, so we want to keep them way over here. And they can have their own little area that's fun. And yeah, we'll have my workshop here, but this will be a good area for the boys to come. It's a little bit isolated from the house and the noise. We call it our side property, but we have a creek that splits our property. A little bit more than half our acreage is on our house side, and the other half is on this other side. It was never a great area to access. We always had to drive through the driveway where we started this video. A couple of years ago, we finally put this bridge in. It's pretty neat. We used a lot of big boulders, and it's dry. And you know,
It goes under the ground.
It goes under the ground. Up at the other area, you saw we had water. It does seem to filter underground and pop back up. This is the driest year we've had since I've lived here. We usually still have a little bit of water here all year, but this year it dried up completely. But when the rains do come, this fills in pretty nicely, and we have 2 6-foot drainage pipes there to take the load if it gets bad enough. And right now we have this bridge, and we planted more boxwoods.
We always need more boxwood.
Lots of boxwoods. We're going to put a small rail up to go along it. A little bit for safety, a little bit for accent. There's a little bit of a drop off right here. But this is a nice big area. We can walk it. We can drive our tractors, motorcycles across. We need to do a lot of work on this side of the yard. It's a little bit of a utilitarian side. We store a lot of our fun finds, and it's a good place for our mulch pile that we can use to stage before we take it off to our yard. Grandpa helped us build this big motorcycle jump. The boys are really good at it. And we have a long path here, so the boys will hit this jump. They've got a long stretch that they can ride. About 8 or 10 years ago, we built this area in hopes that we'd one day have a flourishing garden. So it's
Kim realized she wasn't a good gardener.
We built this fenced area. It's an 8-foot tall fence, and the goal of that was to keep the deer out. We don't use it right now for gardening. Right now it's used for some additional storage. We have some of our trailers and quads and stuff in here. We also have this interior fenced area. About 8 years ago, we had pigs. We raised, I can remember 4 pigs, I think. We raised them and ate them.
You still have 4 pigs.
Yes, that's true. We have some plans for this that we want to start doing immediately, like in the next 3 or 4 weeks.
We're going to turn it back into a garden.
We're going to turn it into a number of things. It's going to be a really great garden, a fun area to be in, I think. So I think step 1, we're going to really clean this area up with the tractor and smooth it out. We're going to remove all of these raised beds and blocks. And I think this area where Emma's kind of standing all the way to the back fence, we'll do some rows and do gardening. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do. We're going to try to find some really good fall type. Orange lettuce.
Yeah, we're going to do like lettuces and like Swiss chard.
We've got a pretty crazy idea. Crazy for us since we don't have a lot of experience, but inside we're going to do bees, and we think that the bees will really be great for a lot of reasons. I think it'll be great for the boys and great for Kim and I.
I'm super excited.
Yeah, it'll be good for us to learn how to manage them and learn how to take care of bees. The honey will be great, and the pollination. And that's kind of the big thing is, I think another thing that could really help our yard would be to get better pollination here. So we're going to bring bees in, and I think this will be a great location. It's not really too close to anything, but has its own area. You think that fence, Turner, will keep the bees in?
I hate
Totally.
bees.
And I think we put the bees like in the corner of this inside fence. You know, that way they get a lot of sun.
Inside here somewhere.
No, but it's this corner.
Okay.
You know, like at this corner, that way they get the most sunlight, but they're on this interior fence.
Okay.
And we can plant like lots of wildflowers in there too. I'm excited about
But this
it.
area is really big, so we have a lot of room here. We know we're not going to have a giant garden. We don't have the bandwidth to really manage another giant thing. But I think we had a few rows of a few things that we could.
Especially like things that return every year, like a whole thing of artichokes and a whole thing of blueberries and raspberries and things that are coming back every year. So we're getting food, but we don't have to like keep replanting. Picking crops that we know do well here anyways. Tomatoes in the summer, pumpkins and squash, lettuce. Easy things.
What do you want to plant?
I don't want to plant anything. I want to fix that corner.
We had a big limb that fell a while back on this fence, and we need to fix it. So Stuart's correct. We need to go in and fix that. Anyway, this is a big mess right now. This is going to be beautiful.
Jason just had to run back to the house to check his meat. He's been smoking ribs for us today, which are going to be delicious. So we're going to continue on this tour without him, and it's almost done. We just left the garden, and we're on the other side of the stream from the house. And now we're walking down this side, and this is what the boys will use when they're riding dirt bikes up and down. And then this is our street that kind of comes down and wraps around us, because this goes down into like a little sliver. It's a great like long stretch, and I love how the trees kind of arch over it, making just this really pretty little walk. What? They want to run. So you can see that our house is through the trees, because the creek is right down in there, and the creek is down there.
I think it would be cool to have a nice patio coming out.
Yeah, that'd be pretty, huh?
And during the winter, fish come in.
Did you beat Emmett?
No, I beat him back.
Okay.
And it didn't run back. But down here,
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you can see it, but on the other side of the creek, what I wanted to say is there's a little trail coming back, and the deer live back here on the dry spot. And while we were back there filming earlier, you can see them over here. I don't know 100% where it is. I think it's down more. Oh, you know, you want to go swim through the poison oak to find it? Yes.
No,
Yes, I do. Emmett is like allergic to poison oak. He always gets it.
he does always get it.
But like down in here is where the deer live.
So this is where the road basically cuts off this edge of the property on this side, and because this is where it crosses the creek. So then to get back to the front of our property, we come back onto the road, and we have this cute little, well, I don't know how super cute it is, but we have this little bridge right here.
Hey, sign.
Oh yeah?
Love is in Christ.
Oh.
I never knew that.
And so this is where the wrought iron starts, and I think this is where it'd be great to like step it back some and do great planters in front of it and lighting up. Just make it a little bit wider so that it doesn't feel so tight in here, because you'd be surprised at how many cars we get like for some reason right here at the same time.
Mom,
Yeah.
it's really cool where the deer live back there. You can see.
Yeah.
Like the other side.
Where's
of the bridge,
Stuart?
it's like, he's still over. Oh, he's coming.
Stuart! Come on!
Okay.
What happened? You guys, what did you do?
We left him.
It wasn't very nice.
Mom,
Stuart, are you okay?
he left us. Oh, I have the pine cone in his hands. I brought something for you.
Found a pine cone? That's a big one.
Not for
It probably has sap everywhere on it, Stuart. Is it sticky?
Kind of.
So we took you all the way back and through the gate, and so we're back on the front area in the middle of the driveway. And I hope that this gave you an overview. I hope that we were able to cover enough and that it all makes sense, because I thought
this could be really just insightful. I know for me, like when I see things like this, I'm always trying to piece it together on like where they would be on their property. So I hope we did a good enough job showcasing like how it all connects. And thank you again for watching and for cheering us on as we make this channel. We will see you on the next video. Bye guys.
Bye.
You came along, couldn't look away. Somehow you turned my